Oh, girl. Hello there. I'm the Velvet Snatch for Pink Swag and GirlGlobal.com. Can you believe that? I can't. And I'm here at DragCon UK with the incredible Ginger Johnson.
Hi.
How are things?
Oh, God, really good. Really good. Everything's great apart from the ankle down.
Okay.
The feet are gone and dead. I'm ready for them to be fully removed and wheels put in their place. I want to be like a wheeler from The Return to Oz.
That's it. We'll get them on your hands.
Yeah, think how many laps of the convention I could do if I had wheels on there.
I like the idea of just playing into the let's terrify children.
Yeah. That's my number one reason for being a drag queen.
I was on a podcast a couple of months ago where it was talking about Return to Oz. And so I rewatched it as part of that. I was like, I forgot how messed up this is.
Yeah, it's wild.
Especially when you go into it being like, oh, it's going to be like Wizard of Oz.
When she's going through the hall of all the faces and she's choosing the face, that is a formative moment in me becoming a drag queen. That idea that you can literally lift an alter ego out of the cupboard and stick it on your face. That and Mrs. Doubtfire in the fridge. You know, and I think people of my age will have a similar story. You know,
I think we've all been like trying to do quick drag, but I think no one's managed it quite as well as Mrs. Doubtfire in that scene.
That'd be a great gimmick for somebody just starting drag. Just have it that you don't wear makeup. You just smash your face in a pie before your gig. You will save hours and hours of your life. I highly recommend it.
Can you imagine after a couple of hours though?
Well, it depends on the pie.
It depends on the bar. You have people lick it off. It could be the performance.
Oh my God.
It could be like a reveal, but like with tongues.
Oh God. The last thing we need is tongues and drag. No, thank you.
But yeah, so like I have to say, all of the stuff you've done since winning, like how's it been? What's the life been since?
Oh, it's been fabulous. It's been honestly, it's a cliche to say, but it's been a huge dream come true. Yeah. You know, I've toured all over the world this year. I've met so many fabulous people. I've made 5 shows this year, which feels absolutely insane. Angels are back on the road at the beginning of this year. I've got a new show coming up this year that I'm really excited about. It's a secret at the moment, but there's some really fun news coming about that. And I got to make Ginger's house, which was a fever dream. And I started to worry in between filming it and it coming out. I really started to worry that other people might not identify with all of this nonsense that is inside my head. And I'm really glad to find out that lots of people do, and mainly children.
That's good though, getting the full range of
well, I am a 6-year-old in the brain, so that's about my attention span.
I mean, we were lucky enough to have Kate Butch on our Girl Global podcast a couple of weeks ago, and they were pointing out the fact of because we were like, how did you sit down to write it? And they were like, well, that's a strong way of putting it.
Did she now?
Would you agree with such statement?
Well, the guests that came in, anyone that came through the front door didn't know what was happening, so it was a complete surprise to them, and they just sort of had to go with the flow, and I think they were all wonderful at doing it. Kate and I sort of planned out the story of each episode, and then we would have a little chat beforehand, but Kate and I are always doing bits with each other, so it sort of came quite naturally, really. I'd love to see the outtakes of it, to be honest, because we did a lot more than you saw. Let's say that much.
Well, that's it, because with the guests it was just improv. It was
really, all of the episodes I'm really, really proud of them, but I thought especially Cara really turned out a phenomenal performance. That funeral, she needs to come to my funeral. I need to see that happen.
I'm just remembering it now. We've been really good. Like there was another local series called Smoggy Queen.
Oh yes, I've watched it. It's amazing.
So good.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant.
Like we went to the premiere and there was always that worry of you kind of like chat to people first and then you sit down and watching, you're like, but what if it's terrible? And then it was so funny. I was hurting from laughing.
No, it's brilliant. Everyone working on that has done an amazing job.
Yeah. Like how do you feel about being able to be represented in the Northeast? Like, where you come from.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
Because I keep seeing posters of you on the Metro from shows that you did from a couple of months ago.
Oh my God, I would have loved to have seen that.
But I think it's just crazy just being like, wow, we've got like drag queens on like these posters alongside like other stars and things.
I had a bit when my tour got to Newcastle, I was doing Northern Stage. Yeah. And Northern Stage was such a special place to me because that's the theatre where I remember the moment I was sat in the second row of the theatre watching Cymbeline by Knee High Theatre Company. And in that moment, I was like, I'm going to make theatre for the rest of my life. Yeah. Watching it in that space. And then I got to go go and play in that theatre, and that was a real beautiful moment for me. It's been fabulous.
It's so special. But well, we've already talked about your plans for 2025.
Yes,
I think. Yeah.
Are we on to 2026 now? You want to know what's happening there?
Yeah. Is it that planned that far ahead? Or?
It might be. I don't know. That's not my business.
Oh, that's it. No, but we'll talk about that. Okay. Well, what I'll do is I'll ask you one last question.
Go for it.
What advice would you give for queer youth or queer people in general in the current political climate?
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'm gonna have a heavy one. I'll do a light-hearted one.
No, it's fine. It's a great question, and it's an important question at the moment, because I think we are all feeling the push that there is. There's a horrible tide turning against us at the moment. And I think for me, in my life, I think the most important thing at the moment is that we all really come together to stand with the trans people in our lives and in our community, because they are really at the sharp end of it at the moment. And the best thing we can offer them is our allyship and support. So I think that's the most important thing for all of us now at the moment. Aside from that, I think when you find the people that are your people, your life will open up in front of you. Yeah. And if you don't feel your life opening up in front of you, go looking for those people.
That is really good advice.
Thank you.
And also one thing, Stu's dared me to do this. Basically last year when we interviewed you, we interviewed your wig rather than yourself. Like, does your wig have any closing comments for today?
Yeah.
Kate Butch is a massive bitch.
There you go.
It speaks no lies. Thank you so much.
It was gorgeous to see you again. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.